Hi, everybody. Welcome to this week's free training. I'm Lori Joy. Lovely to have you here for Make an Impact Monday. Today, we are going to get right into the training. It's super exciting, and it's all about how to use 5-day boot camps in order to have 5-figure launches, and really how to deliver your most successful launch to date, following a very simple framework that I'm going to outline today. In fact, this is what it's going to look like. And if you want access to this PDF, all you have to do is comment 5-figure in the comments, and we can send that over to you. It's a very comprehensive method and way to show you how to set up your bootcamp so that you can start hitting those 5-figure months. So we're going to go through that in a second. But what I want to do is I really want to essentially walk you through, does it take 5 days to hit 5 figures? Is that what we're doing here? Is that what we're looking for? Is this essential? We also want to talk about how to increase your engagement. We do a live bootcamp or a live event prior to making the offer to your program or your business for a reason. And so you want to use that live event to a T so that you're getting the most bang for your buck. We also want to go through, as we're going through the 5-figure framework, we were going to talk about homework in your boot camps, why it's essential, not only for you to see who the action takers are, but also to get momentum going in your attendees. We're going to talk about how to utilize a chart for tracking hot leads. This means that you will have people come to the forefront, your ideal client, and shine very brightly within your business or within your bootcamp so that you can start asking your ideal client, not everybody, but your ideal client to come into your business. And we're going to talk about what you should be tracking during your bootcamp and why it's so important. And then, of course, everybody wants to attend live, but not everybody can. So we're going to talk about a recap page, what it means for you, what it means to your bootcamp, and how simple it is to set it up. And then again, if you want this particular guide that I'm going to walk through at any point during the training, or if you're watching the replay, just put 5 figures in the comments and we will send it over to you. So let's start to talk today about 5-figure boot camps. We already know that boot camps are amazing for your business. If you've attended some, if you've wanted to be a part of some, if you've taken, maybe you've run a couple of boot camps and you're just not quite hitting that 5-figure mark, or you're not hitting that 5-figure mark consistently, this guide is going to break down to you exactly the framework. It's very simple that we use in order to have 5-figure launches ourselves, and as well as having our clients have 5-figure launches too. So if you're live here in the comments, say hello, let me know who you are so I can say hello, and we can talk about your business and I can put it into the examples if I know it. All right, so let's talk. I want to show you the actual, I want to show you this because we're going to go through and talk about how to break down and use and have a successful launch, probably your most successful launch to date, how to sell out your program using 5-day boot camps. And I'll tell you, without using Facebook ads, a giant launch campaign or a team. And for some of you, you're solopreneurs, you're out there, you're playing, you have all the hats. And even just setting up the bootcamp content itself is taxing. So I'm going to break down, how do you do this? What do I need in my bootcamp? What's essential? So we're actually going to take 5-figure as an acronym, and we're going to break it down for you today. So this next page that you want to think about is just that, is 5 figures. And what does this mean to you? So the secret to a 5-figure launch is putting all of the following tips into several days of live coaching for free. Now, a lot of you will come to me and say, well, how many days should my bootcamp be? Does it mean 5-figure? Does that mean 5 days? Not necessarily. 5 days is a nice round number in order to run a bootcamp, but depending on, there's many mitigating factors that you should be thinking about before running your bootcamp. So it truly depends on the price of your offer. So if you have a low ticket program, $1,000 or less, I want you to be thinking about doing maybe a 3 or 4 day boot camp. Excuse me. The higher the cost to the consumer, the longer you want to perform the boot camp. And this is all in the PDF. You can see it. Maybe you can't read the sheet here, but this is all outlined in this particular sheet. If your program is, say, $1,000 or more, you're going to want to do a 5-day boot camp with a few bonus days as well. Because the reason for a longer boot camp when the offer is higher priced is so that you have more time to teach your audience your expertise for free and then give them a mini win in the days of your boot camp. That's what you're doing. You're thinking, what can I teach? What aha can I bring? What can I expand upon so that my ideal client is having a mini win with me in this time of this particular boot camp? It's not just taking all of your information that you have in your head and fire hosing it out there. That's not what we're doing. What you want to be doing is thinking strategically through the length of your boot camp and what you're going to be sharing on those particular days. And then I want you to really think about, what am I giving away for free? So keep in mind that the reason that you're having a boot camp prior to making the offer of your program is so that you share your expertise. You're going to teach your audience something that is going to move their business forward and allow them to get to know you, like you, and trust you. Because once someone knows you, likes you, and trusts you, right, they will essentially or eventually buy from you. So sometimes just because we have 5 figures doesn't mean 5 days, not necessarily. I want you to take those particular factors that we just talked about here, your price of your program, the length of the program, and then eventually what it is that you're going to be teaching, and then put it into the right bracket that works for you. Is 3 and 4 days sufficient enough? If you have $1,000 offer or less, that's what I say. If it's more than $1,000, you're going to need a longer length of time, just a little bit, in order to walk your people through, right, the aha that you truly want to give. Now, some people will, I've seen, do 20-day boot camps, 30-day boot camps. I can't imagine you keeping your audience's interest for that length of time. So 5 is a nice round number. You can pitch on day 4. You can have some bonus days. Your cart can open for a little bit, and you're sharing your expertise. We love the 5 figures. We love it. We love it. All right. The F in figure, we talked about 5 and 5 days. Is it necessary? Is all about your particular framework, right? F stands for framework to your boot camp. The whole premise of your boot camp is that it should easily lead your ideal client to your offer. So we refer to this as selling to the gap. You have your boot camp, you have your offer, and we're intentionally creating and selling the time in between the two. Okay. So, first of all, let's define what a gap is. Like I said, the gap is the space between your boot camp and your program. So, during your boot camp, you want your audience to see how your way of teaching or your way of doing business or your way of helping them in their business is the way to do things, right? We want to convince people that I want to convince you that a 5-day launch prior to offering a program is your best bet, right? To leading people to your business. So whether that's a keto diet for weight loss or it's meditation before bed, whatever you're teaching your audience, what you do and why you do it, more importantly, is why they need it in their lives, right? So when it comes time to present your program, the gap has to be definitive and comprehensive so that the next natural step for your audience is to come into your program. There is so much strategy in a boot camp, and this is a very important one. You're going to create that gap. You have to create it, and then you have to sell to it. So when you're doing this, when you're thinking about this framework of what your boot camp is going to be, this is essential in it. You want to have and create the gap between what you're giving for free and what you're offering. And there's so many other factors in there, right? There's like the pitch. There's what do I say? How do I, go from giving away free information to a paid offer. And we talk about that all of inside. If you ever do a boot camp with me, we talk about that. Now, the I in figure is increasing your engagement. Now, let's talk about this. The reason we're doing a live event, right? It's not just about the content. You have to be intentional, sorry, about it and plan out your daily presentations. But it's not just about content. When you finish planning out your boot camp, I want you, and I tell this to my clients as well, to go back into your daily teaching and put intentional, strategic engagement into those content days. So going live is special, right? That's why your engagement with your audience has to be intentional and planned. So a lot of times we're so concerned with the content that we don't even think about the engagement, right? So you want to use things like scales on a scale from 1 to 10, and then ask a question, get some information from your people, get some immediate feedback. On a scale from 1 to 10, who is feeling this? And let people go through the actual go through the comments and give you that feedback. It's so simple, but sometimes it's so overlooked. Another thing you want to do is to say people's names. If people are on the live and they're commenting, call them out, say hello. We're not reaching through the computer and pulling them in, but acknowledge the fact that they're there, they're attending, they're live, they're engaging with you. And then the last one, again, so simple, but emojis. Right? Everybody is very good at putting them out there. We actually, for our boot camp, have a emoji theme of the day, right? So what happens is that we pick an emoji that goes with our training, and we ask people to drop it at random times throughout. Now, not only does this help the engagement of your people and what it is that you're teaching, but it also boosts your algorithm. So you think about this, the more people that engage with your live content, the more Facebook is going to push it out to the people inside that particular group. So you want to use this extreme, right? To its height. All right. The next one we want to think about in figure, right? We're going FIG. We give homework. Now, this is funny because I'm a teacher by trade, and long time ago, before I turned entrepreneur, I never gave homework. And now here I am doing it to the people who are engaging in being part of the audience for our boot camps. Now, one of the reasons you want to give homework, again, all strategic ladies, G is for giving homework daily inside of your boot camp, because momentum is a real thing. And once you have your audience taking action, they will want to continue with that momentum, right? They will want to continue with that momentum. It's physics, right? It's the law of what we do here. So momentum is magic in your bootcamp. That's the reason we're doing a whole live event prior to making the offer. So when people commit to attending your live event, and you give them your best content, they will keep coming back day after day. But here's something that's very, very effective. This comes from my teaching days, my professorial days. It comes from brain-based learning. There's a reason why you were given homework in school, right? There's a reason why we give a daily post after the training that asks people to come and interact with that particular post, right? We all know, that we cannot change people's business, lives, relationships, health, and wellness in 5 days. We can't. We can't go through a total transformation in that time. But what we can do is to get them into daily action, which is really going to be a breath of fresh air for most of the people who are attending your boot camp. They're there for a reason. Something isn't working in their business. Something isn't working in their relationship or in their health and wellness, and they need to come to you for your expertise. So the best way to do this is to ask each day a question that allows your audience to take action, right? And then provide them, it's just a simple post inside the Facebook group that goes up at the same time every day, and ask them for their daily response to that particular question. Think of your daily homework as a mini win, right? You're overcoming an objection. You're having a mini aha that can be experienced by your audience. And at the end of your boot camp, you should have shifted your audience several times. Also, it's a great way for you to vet the people that are in your boot camp, because if they're not there and if they're not participating and if they're not taking advantage of your free coaching, which is essentially your homework posts, then you're going to realize that maybe this isn't the right person to be in your business. Because we don't allow everybody to come in our business. We only allow the people that are going to be there and do the work, put in the time. Right? So homework, there are so many strategies to it. It is so amazing. I hope that you incorporate it into your next boot camp. All right, the U of 5-figure is to utilize a chart for tracking. Now, when I first started doing my boot camps, it was just me, myself, and I am old school and I like a good old pen and paper. But you want to be using whatever medium of technology that works best for you. If you want to do it with pen and paper, then do it, right? If you want to track using Trello, if you want to track using Asana, if you want to track using a Google Doc or a Google spreadsheet or Excel, whatever is easiest for you to get into, then use it. Right? It doesn't have to be complicated. Everything about your bootcamp does not have to be complicated. So U is for utilizing a chart and keeping track of hot leads that you are going to quickly come to recognize from those who are attending your bootcamp. You are. By day 2, you're going to have the people who are showing up, commenting, going live, hanging out with you, doing all of the things, right? You're going to have these people and you're going to be able to start tracking them, right? The people who are doing the homework, the people who are coming to the lives, right? So let's talk about what we're tracking and why. Let's talk about that. So the first thing you're going to obviously attract is your live attendees. You're going to quickly see people will engage in some way, shape, or form when you're live and you're doing the boot camp, whether they're saying hello to you at the beginning, they're engaging in one of your scales from 1 to 10, or they're dropping an emoji, or they're putting a keyword, whatever it may be. People are going to start to engage with you in the comments. And then you can go back after and you can see exactly who was live and who was engaging. Another thing that you can do is people leaving comments, right? If they're there and they're giving you feedback and they're saying, yes, I'm into this, I get this, I'm having this aha moment, this is amazing. That's what you can be tracking as well, right? People opening or responding to your emails, which we're going to talk a little bit about. Are people coming to your live and are they reading your emails? You're going to send some out. Are they responding? Are you asking for that reply? Are they opening it? And if you have a CRM system in your business, which you all should, then you can track that very easily. Again, people who are doing your homework posts. So are these people not only there attending live, but are they coming to the homework and are they getting and taking advantage of your free coaching? Because that's essentially what it is. I put things into the homework post so that people can actually get some free coaching from me. I want them to have that. And so you can do that too. And then you can track them later on. And again, keep it simple, But the reason that you're tracking this is when your cart day opens, sometimes when we don't see those people anymore, we play this narrative in our head. They're not interested. Oh, all of a sudden I made my pitch, I opened my program, I've invited them into my business and they no longer want to be a part of it. That's all on you and your mindset. Sometimes people just need a day to think about it. Some people need a day to catch up. Some people will wait the weekend, right? Some people want to have a conversation with you. And when you're tracking your leads, right, for all of those things that I just mentioned in the technology that you want to use that's easiest for you, then you can start to have DMs, you can start to have text messaging, you can start to reply, send out emails, you can start to have conversations. And a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we get spoiled as online entrepreneurs and we think, well, I'm just going to put out there and then everybody's going to respond to it and everyone's going to buy it the minute I put it out. And it's not what happens. Sometimes you put your link out into the world and there's crickets, right? And it's the follow up. We've always heard that it's in the follow up. So if you're doing your job and you're following up, right, and you're engaging and having those conversations all during the week, you're tracking your hot leads. You know exactly who to spend your time with and who not to, right? And who not to. Now, as many people that will try to attend live, unfortunately, life happens, things pop up, and people have to catch it on the replay. Now, Facebook used to have a beautiful little, what were they called? Where you could replay the live in your group. And they've taken that option away. So all we've done is come up with a recap page, and they're very easy to set up. They're very simple. They're repeated. You just use them over and over and over again for each particular launch. But what a recap page does is it allows basically your people to watch through all of your lives like Netflix, right? They could literally sit there and go from one live to the next, right? And binge watch and catch up. And some people, depending on their learning type, that's what they love to do, right? We think everybody's going to be coming live and engaging and it's going to be so magical. Yes, that does happen, but sometimes there are people who have to come and catch the recap page. So when you're making a recap page, it's a simple landing page. And here are the things that you want to incorporate in it. All right. You want to have the title of your boot camp and a picture of yourself so people know that they're coming to the right page, right? A picture of yourself that actually looks like you so that when people come, they know that they're in the right spot, right? It's the title of the boot camp they've signed up for. It's your beautiful face. All right. They know that they're in where they should be. All right. Another thing you want to do, what I do is I include a timer right under the fold, because although we do have recaps and we have options for people to come and watch and get caught up on, those trainings actually do come down, because then we're moving into the program, and right, you have time to catch up, but not all the time in the world. So we have a timer that runs and lets them know that these particular free trainings are up for a certain amount of time, and it counts down second by second. Another thing I do is I'll have the boot camp day 1 and I'll have the title, and then right underneath I have the video. So people can just click on it, they can see what I'm teaching that particular day, and they can consume it. And that actually runs from day 1 to day 5. It's pretty simple. It's very easy to set up, like I said. And then when it comes time for you to open up the doors to your business, what you want to do is now put a little button, a little bit of information about your program, and have that button lead to your sales page. Litter it with some testimonials from some of your favorite people or your biggest fans or your best clients. And then it's a beautiful thing for everybody to do. And it's so wonderful. There's a lot of people that come to our recap page and they catch something. So they're not having to go through the Facebook group. It's wonderful sometimes to have Facebook groups, but sometimes it's really hard to find your lives. And so what they do is they want to go through, and that recap page kind of just lists them one off. So they don't have to keep looking and trying to find day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, all that. All right. On to the E of 5 figures. So we've talked about framework, increasing our engagement, right? Now we're on to emails that are sent daily. So the emails that are sent daily is you want to first start when you're going out into and running your boot camp. I'll tell you, the very first time I ran my boot camps, for several times, there was no emails. There were none. It was just me, my content, and my Facebook group. That was it. And it wasn't until I knew that the boot camp was converting and we just keep the same content for each boot camp that we started to incorporate emails. Now, people still read emails, right? If you're engaging with your people on a weekly basis and in between, say, your launches, your people know that you're there for them, you're nurturing them, you're giving back to them. And so emails are there. Right? Emails are there. And many people are reading them. So what we've been told is, here's the emails that I would send. First of all, I would start by sending a reminder email. So these are sent out a few hours before you go live. Now, if I usually go live at noon, I would send that email reminder out at 9 a.m., have a nice little link straight to your Facebook group so people can take a click and come over right away. And those are the same ones each day, just talking about what you're going to be training on that day so they don't miss out. Maybe the next time you do your boot camp, maybe then what you want to do is have your replay emails, right? So you have your reminder emails, you go live, and a couple of hours later, you have your replay emails, which will link to your recap page. Sorry that you missed the training. Here's what I talked about today. Here's where you can find the replay. Boom, there they go, right? And then what you can do is when you open the doors to your program, you open the doors to your business, you can start having your sales emails. So when it starts to come time to welcoming people into your business, right, you can go and send these every night. So I usually do a reminder email, a recap email, and then a sales email. And then the last day that your cart is open, I like to send several emails that particular day, right? That particular day. So don't be afraid to send those particular emails, give homework, do all of those things. Now, each one of those are very strategic. And if you are missing any parts of those in your boot camp, then you're probably not hitting the 5-figure mark that you want to. So this is a beautiful comprehensive guide that walks you through everything I said today. And it's a nice little cheat sheet. So when you come to make your boot camp, you can be like, yes, I want to hit 5 figures all the time without using Facebook ads, without using a huge team, and without having a giant launch that I have to worry about. Then what you want to be doing is grabbing the guide. So if you want it, just put 5 figures in the comments. We'll send it over to you. And if you have any questions about your boot camp or anything in the training, place them in the comments, and we'll get back to you right away. Big love and hugs. We'll see you next Monday. Bye-bye.